Work is on its way, boy.
Square has so many breaks. I done had so many love scars all on my heart. It's me. It's mad love scars on my heart. I don't even know where to start. My shit done been ripped apart. I don't really know what to do. Honestly, I can't fall in love with you, ayy. I've been hurt so many times, ayy. I don't fall in love no more. I won't even think about it. Oh yeah. Every time I fell in love, honestly, I kept drowning. Yeah. In my sorrows again and again. Hey, them days I feel like I was never gonna win. Hey, love left me hostage, but never again. I done had so many bad days. Yeah. I've been through it enough for me. I done had so many love scars. I done had so many love scars. I done had so many love scars. It damn near ripped me apart. I done had so many love scars. I done had so many love scars all on my heart. Yeah. I done had so many love scars. I done had so many love scars all on my heart. Yeah. It's mad love scars on my heart. I don't even know where to start. My shit done been ripped apart. I don't really know what to do. Honestly, I can't fall in love with you, ayy. I've been hurt so many times, yeah. It's mad love scars on my heart. I don't even know where to start. Only time can heal what fell apart. For now I can put it all in my art. If the love is real, then why I feel fake? If we meant to be, then why we can't relate? Why the timing always off? If this all fake, why every time we come back we still in sync? I think about all the moments we shared. High pride and ego and the fear mixed in with all of our fears. All the pain we caused throughout these years resulted in so many tears. Make it hard to pick up my head when I think of what we could have been. Our love just blowing in the wind. Wish we could start over again.
Let's go. I've been flipping pounds in my city, Flint is my town. Bag it up, nigga, I get it up off the ground. This ain't what you want, we got killers, they shooting rounds. Roll another blunt for the lost that ain't around. I've been flipping pounds in my city, Flint is my town. Bag it up, nigga, I get it up off the ground. This ain't what you want, we got killers, they shooting rounds. Roll another blunt for the lost that ain't around.
The Snow Show.
Money, nigga, for real. Watching so much shit, and I hit a lot of dope.
Was this a favor from giving a contribution to the mayor's committee when she ran for mayor? Well, I have to say, I think that's what this was. Because there's no way possible that you can try to give a contract to someone who coming in substandardly. You can't say that you will have a landfill and make it contingent upon you getting the contract. You should already have that in place. And then another thing is, they never contacted any Flint workers to try to bring Flint workers on their team. And then they had in their contract that in 90 days, if you're not up to their standard, they can get rid of you. And I guess you could when they're not unionized. And then the people who work for them won't have any recourse. What we're struggling in the city of Flint right now is taxes. And when we got people that's working, going to work every day, punching in that clock, that's what we need for this city. We don't need a company coming in from out of town or out of state that doesn't have a place to set their trucks and have a landfill, and most importantly, not unionized.
With that being said, we got former 5th Ward Councilman Wantwaz Davis, man. What's going on, brother?
Ain't too much, brother. Just just out and about taking care of little things. I said, but I made an obligation, to do this interview with you, my brother, because I think that you consistent and I think you try to keep the information moving afloat and keeping the people informed on what's going on in the city of Flint, Michigan. And so I feel honored to have the opportunity to have this important dialogue with you, my brother.
Man, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you, man. I just want to say, just because I don't agree with what a person does, don't mean that I don't want to hear they side. You get what I'm saying? It's part of
Right, I
journalism. You
understand.
know what I mean? It's part of
I
journalism.
understand. I
Yeah,
understand.
it's part of
Everybody,
journalism.
everybody, everybody has their own perspective and decisions. But that don't mean that creates strife. It's just their own personal opinion about what they feel, how things should go about. But at the end of the day, it's their person's own prerogative on however they feel.
Yeah, see, politics and personal agendas are two different things. People need to learn the difference between the two. You know what I
They need to
mean?
learn to distinguish the two. That's right.
Exactly. But let me see. Hold on, I want to play this clip for you right quick.
Okay.
Um, cause I was just scrolling on other social medias and they this what I want you to feedback off this. This what I scrolled on another social media platform, and this is what they had said about you. I
Okay.
just want you to feedback off this. Hold on.
I don't know. And right versus wrong, you were absolutely correct. And to quote, this is not me, this is someone on the face space. He is a murderer and a drunk driver. Do you really think he has a chance? Come on now. No, I don't think he has a chance, but as Mickey's pointed out, it's a distraction.
That's what it is. It's a distraction. I'm gonna keep saying that's a distraction. Every time we get to this council.
Okay. All right.
That's just
So they
a
say.
few.
So they
That's
say.
just
So
few
they
of people's
say.
opinions about you.
It's okay. It's
You know.
okay. It's all right. But I can live with that. But I tell you this much. I'm gonna elaborate on this. I'm a murderer. Okay, I was convicted of a murder, but that don't make me a murderer. That makes me
Right.
a defender because at the end of the day, you have to ask the question: what led up to the conviction of a murder? Well, what led up to the conviction of a murder? Because it could have been manslaughter. It could have been a heat of passion. These men sexually assaulted my mother. I think anybody whose mother was sexually assaulted would have either thought about the murder, either thought about they would have thought about a lot of things, and under those circumstances, the passion that lies within your heart, that's predicated on the love that you have for your mother, your mind can go in many different directions. So every time somebody speaks and says that I'm a murderer and I'm not qualified to be a leader, it's really an offense. But I don't take it as an offense because I look at it in many different ways. And one of the ways I look at it is it can be envy, it can be jealousy, it can be resentfulness, it can be many things that really don't line with why you really feel that I shouldn't be a leader. When you look in the biblical times, a lot of pastors don't talk about Paul. They talk about Paul when they speak about Corinthians, but they don't tell you who Paul was before he became Paul. Before God converted him over to be Paul, he was Saul. Now, see, Saul and Paul, who are one and the same, was actually a murderer. Saul killed everything that he saw in sight that he didn't agree with. A lot of irrational thoughts was lied in Saul's heart. He even tried to kill Jesus. Jesus ran for his life, always consistently running from Saul. See, pastors don't talk about that, either because a lot of pastors are not educated about Saul, but they talk a lot about Paul. But Paul and Saul are the same people. Paul wrote a third of the Bible, 1 Corinthians, 2 Corinthians, and many other chapters in the Bible. Paul is the one that said faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. But pastors never tell you who Paul was before God converted him over. to be Paul. He was Saul. He was a mass murderer. But they don't tell you that Paul didn't have the qualifications to write a third of the Bible. Most of the world are Christians. They believe in God. They're God-fearing men and women. They read the Bible. They go to church every Sunday. They pay their tithes. But they don't say Paul was a murderer. They don't say anything to that extent. They don't have a strong disdain towards Paul. I went to prison protecting my mother. 3 men sexually assaulted my mother. 3 men took the liberty from an irrational thought that they can throw my mother on the ground and stick their penis in my mother against her will and take her innocence from her. No woman should be treated like that. My mother carried me for 9 months in her womb and took care of me as a child. Any man or woman that has a mother probably would have put themselves in that same situation that I was in, or at least thought about it, because the thought is the cause of it all. Now, when I was an elected official, I did wonders in the city of Flint, Michigan. They say I'm not qualified and it's a distraction. Well, let's see if it was. When I was a city councilman, I brought Lear. I put Lear, 1,000 manufacturing jobs in my ward on East Hamilton Street, near Saginaw Street. I brought Lear to the city of Flint, Michigan, when the Chambers of Commerce had received a 5-year economic and development plan from Jerry Ambrose, who was our last emergency manager. Just to summarize it and make it short, Chambers of Commerce had a meeting with 2 city councilmen at a time. They had a meeting with me and Councilperson Scott Kincaid. I took the initiative to take over the meeting because now I actually seen that this was the opportunity and the time to make myself known and make my voice known for the reason why I ran for city council in the first time was for economic and development, to bring jobs to the city of Flint, Michigan, and use our infrastructure for what our infrastructure was designed for. And that was creation of auto and manufacturing, to take men and women off the street and put them to work and instill some morals and values in them, stemming from them getting a paycheck every Friday. Because this is what we're lacking in the city of Flint, Michigan. Did Eric Mays do it? No. Did Mayor Relaford do it? No. Did Mayor Dane Wallen do it? No. Did Mayor Karen Weaver do it? No. Did Congressman Dan Kildee do it? No. Did Senator Debbie Stabenow do it? No. Did Obama make a decision during the water crisis to take a look into our city and see what we're struggling from and where it is in certain areas that we may need to make our city a better city, different than just talking about water? No. Did any other elected official in the last 40 years ever think about what it is that that city actually needs to make that city a better city, at the same time helping us fight against the water crisis? No. But what did one person do by the name of Councilman Wantwaz Davis? He brought manufacturers to the city of Flint, Michigan. Now, did City Councilman Wantwaz Davis catch a DUI? Yes, I did. But there's a lot of elected officials drink and get behind their steering wheel. Do they get caught? Apparently not. Did Councilman Eric Mays get caught? Yes, he did. But Councilman Eric Mays right now is some form of a celebrity in the city of Flint, Michigan. They feel that he is one of the best elected officials in the city of Flint, Michigan. Now they say, well, ask the most intelligent question. They say, what is the most intelligent question, Councilman Davis? Why? Why is the most intelligent question you can ask anybody? The most intelligent answer you can ever give is, I don't know, if you don't know. But Councilman Davis, do you know? Absolutely, I do know.
Hey, Wantwaz, let's just get into it, man. That was great what you said, everything about, because I know somebody started my mama like that. Yeah, I'm gonna go lay down for the rest of my life or whatever. But
my mother was raped, so they can quit talking about that I was a convicted murderer. Paul was a murderer, and I did what I did to protect my mother. My mother was raped.
I understand that. Okay. I want this the question of the day right here. I want to know what warranted you to recall Jerry Riffy Carter, besides the fact that you want your Fifth Ward seat back. What warranted you to What you know what I mean?
Well, to me, it's several reasons would warrant me to recall Jerry Winfrey Carter. One, Jerry Winfrey Carter never won that seat innocently, but that's a whole different discussion at a different day. But what warrant me to recall Jerry Winfrey Carter is because one, she's very neglectful towards not only the residents in the Fifth Ward, but the city of Flint, Michigan. She's done nothing significantly during the years of her being in office to make a drastic change or any change of an inkling of a change in the city of Flint, Michigan, besides being a part of a bunch of chaos and confusion amongst one another down at City Hall during city council meetings. She abstained in voting for the services to be paid that's afforded to the city of Flint, Michigan residents, which is their tax dollars, to pay for the services that is needed to move the city forward. Public safety, Department of Water Services, judges' paychecks, any services that is given to the city of Flint, Michigan, which is out of $53 million in our yearly budget to pay for the services of the residents in the city of Flint, Michigan. She abstained to continue to let that move forward. To me, that was a great form of negligence. People in the Fifth Ward does not know who she is. She does not answer her calls. Residents in the Fifth Ward, particularly the elderlies, when there's blight in the community, they call me and ask me to get the blight up. I call the city hall. I talk to Mr. Ed Taylor. Mr. Ed Taylor calls Arnold, who is Department of the Blight Division, and they send trucks out and they get the blight up. I have to continue to do the job of the elected Fifth Ward City Council person, which is Jerry Winfrey Carter, and I'm no longer in seat. I'm always coming to do things that she can simply do. So I said, if I got to continue to do her job, I need to be placed back in my job where it makes sense for me to do job as if I'm still elected to do the job when I need to just be put back in my seat and make it feel compelled to do the job. But I don't feel compelled to do the job. I feel it's my duty to continue to do the job that I was elected to do when I was in office. Why? Because I was chosen by the people. And because I was not placed back in my seat doesn't mean that I neglect the people who still believe in me and believed in me then. Because at the end of the day, I've done things in my life, being home in the 13 years that I've been home, that many people has not done in their entire life. My goal running for office was to bring economic and development back into the city of Flint, Michigan, and help underprivileged people, low moderate people, and ex-convicted felons get some type of job, hope, and opportunity. I've done that even in my own company. I've hired over 100 people in the city of Flint, Michigan, and put them to work, working in my cleaning company. So what I feel about Jerry Winfrey Carter is she has done nothing in the city of Flint, Michigan to make any change moving our city forward. She can't name one thing she's done. Eric Mays can't name one thing either. People like Eric Mays because he makes laughter. Laughter do not move a city forward. It just soothes your soul to accept the consequences and the conditions that we are in. But when laughter go away, we're still held under those same conditions that none of our leaders have made a difference in. I'm the only one, by the grace and mercy of God, that has made a change in the city of Flint, Michigan, right up and down East Hamilton Street. And when you look at Lear, just remember that the Chambers of Commerce and myself brought Lear Manufacturing to the city of Flint, Michigan, and they continue to build manufacturing in the city of Flint, Michigan. Also, I am the only one who tried to stop and prevent the Flint water crisis. I tried to stop Darnell Early and Governor Rick Snyder from switching us to the Flint River. Google my name, any and everyone who's looking at this and listening to this. Google Wantwaz Davis and stroll down. It will say, meet Wantwaz Davis, the ex-con who tried to save Flint.
Hey, Wantwaz, I don't mean to cut you off. So it's safe to say you don't think she's doing a good job, huh?
I don't think she's doing a job at all. I just think she's getting a paycheck. People can't name one thing that she has done to make a significant change. Not just answering your calls. Answering your calls, that's not making a change. That's a personal issue between you and the person.
Well, I'm just gonna say it like this though. She ain't. I mean, I don't think she the problem, man.
She's not the problem. She's not the problem.
I recall them Yankees down there maybe before I recall her, man.
Well, she's not the
Worthy,
problem. I
what's
think
the
they
other
all
one?
should.
Presley. I recall
Yeah.
them, man. I don't, you know what I mean?
Well,
But like I said before, I'm gonna let you get off with your opinion, your opinion.
absolutely,
I ain't gonna,
absolutely,
you know what I mean? I don't, you
absolutely.
know. Right.
I think
Well,
anyone that has not made a difference here, we speaking by wards. I live in the 5th Ward. I represented the 5th Ward. My
right.
family and associates and parents of people that I'm associated with lives in the 5th Ward. I can't speak about the 6th, 7th, or any other ward. I'm just speaking about all of them together are accountable to making a difference. So I'm not going to do and deal with this based on selective individuals. I can go down the line in the list to who ain't never did services in our job and made a significant change. Because they all look like clowns. They all do. I can't say because a child is running the streets that the father or the mother is the problem. They both the problem. Because if they'd have raised their child in the proper manner, then the child may have not went out here and did the things that the child has done and continues to do. Everybody is accountable that's in leadership, coming from state reps, mayors, city councilmen, county commissioners, anybody that has been chosen by the people to lead this city forward, and the city has not moved forward, are held accountable to not making a significant change in the city of Flint, Michigan. But there are some people on city council that shouldn't be recalled, but I'm not going to selectively make a name. But I can only talk about my ward. And only reason why I mentioned Councilman Eric Mays is because of the notoriety that he has that is looked at all over the world as a joke. And they have made him the face of Flint, but people thinking that that's a good thing, but other people across the state are looking and laughing at us as a circus, and they've ridiculed our democracy. They've ridiculed our democracy. Yeah, he went on Ricky Smiley's show, but you have to look at it. He went on a comedian show. Ricky Smiley is paid to make you laugh and crack jokes. Eric Mays didn't go on CNN, a Good Morning America. It just shows him always bashing and creating issues inside the city council as if they can't work together. A house divided would never stand. And the trickle effect of that is what we see in the city of Flint, Michigan now. We should learn to get along for the greater good of our residents. Any issues that we have amongst one another should be discussed and conflicted or whatever we go through behind closed doors. But when we're in front of the public, in front of the people, there's a form of decorum, humility, and learning how to get along even if we faking it. But we are held in the middle of the people, and the world sees this. That's not nothing great to congratulate. That's not nothing to give notary to. It looks like a house divided. It's really abusive to the voters that we have to be looked at like this. So we need to come through and clean house and put people in better positions that can make us look better than what we look at today for tomorrow. Now, if they made any significant changes, then yeah, we can talk about that. It's the way that people even talk about my DUI and my convicted murder. But the things I've done for the city of Flint, Michigan overweights that. It overweights that. Now, if I didn't do anything in the 40 years that I was in office, then okay, then you can say that I'm not qualified to be a leader. Then you can use my narrative. He was in office for 4 years and he did nothing. The only thing he did was commit a DUI. He went to prison for a murder. They gave him a chance and he didn't do anything. Then I can understand why people have a strong disdain and an opinion about me being in leadership. How can that be a distraction when I've done more for the city of Flint, Michigan than any elected official in the last 40 years besides Mayor Charles Stewart Mott when he brought General Motors to Flint? Allow them to justify why they don't think that I should be in leadership, and let me put on the table what I've done for the city of Flint, Michigan, and let's weigh it out. 2 + 2 gonna always be 4. So let's put my numbers on the table, my fruit on the table, and they can put their fruit on the table, and let's see how it flourish. Let's see who has the rotten fruit. Now, if I didn't do anything in the 4 years that I was in office, then maybe what they saying has credit to it. Yeah, I did catch a DUI. I was in office for 4 years, and I didn't do anything. Now, I maybe can do what Eric May say. Well, they never gave me a chance. They always against me. They never honor my motions. Those are excuses. You cannot be in office for 10 years and has done nothing. Answering your phone don't mean nothing. 911 answer the calls all day. It don't mean they stopped the murder. It don't mean they stopped the murder. I can call 911. I can call 911 right now and somebody will answer the phone. But it didn't stop the person from around the corner losing their child.
Yeah, I just feel, man.
And so saying this, John, at some extent, we need new leaderships in office that can produce good fruit. A tree is known by the fruit that it bears. We have a rotten tree in the city of Flint, Michigan. And people need to make better and wiser decisions on who they put in leadership.
What about this, though? I want to not to cut you off.
No, you good.
I hear what you're saying. Like you say, you don't agree she's doing a good job and all that, right? So, we need some solutions, man. Having a better council, man. We got a bunch of clowns down there, man. See, I just don't think she's the problem.
She isn't the problem. She's a part of the problem. See, when you say she is the problem, it makes it seem like she is the one is the reason why the city is not moving forward. She's just a part of the problem. See, the car didn't break down on its own and be held on the corner of the street or on I-75 where the tow truck got to remove it with the hazard lights on it. No, the oil didn't get changed. It never got a tune up. The time it needs to be changed. It's many factors of why that car isn't moving. But is the car broke down? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Why? Because it was never maintained. When you go and put your car under a machine at AutoZone, it draws a whole list of the things that needs to be done to the car. But at the end of the day, all of those things was affected by the car. So she may not be the sole reason why the city is not moving forward, but she is a part of the reason. She is a part of the reason. And as a part of the reason, you put all the parts together, it comes to one conglomerate whole. It's not the father's fault. It's not, let me say this. It's not the father's fault because the child went in the store and robbed the store. No, it's not the father is the sole purpose, the sole reason, but the parents in the house together as one whole are the reason. So she is not the only problem. She's a part of the problem.
Let me play. I got a couple clips of city council, man. Let me play on, man. Cause she's definitely not you're right. She's not the only problem. I don't think she's the problem at all, but let's check this shit out.
Y'all want to be business with us, 5 or 6 of us, or however my colleagues decide they want to do. We are willing to work with you. Those businesses that's trying to do some investment in the city of Flint, we want to work with you.
Request for information.
What is it? I heard Ms. Burns first.
Thank you. Are you stating that to the speaker, are you stating I'm not here to do business? Please clarify. Request for information.
Okay. Ms. Carter.
Are you saying that there's only 5 to 6 council members up here that come and sit here to do the business?
All right, proceed, Mr.
Thank
Murphy.
you. What I'm saying is if the shoe fit, wear it. Okay.
Council from enforcing their 30-day suspension related to his conduct in meetings. He chose not to vote on the appeal.
Council, they're fighting over alleged rules, violations, before getting back on track to discuss those speed bumps in 8 different neighborhoods. The price tag there, $125,000. And May says that's not enough.
You can't do it with $125,000. And I'm not putting a vote to approve $125,000 and then they in Neely's board on the Dole and El Dorado Drive.
Mays did invoke the names of Mayor Sheldon Neely and Councilmember Eva Worthing and Liddell Lewis, Worthing calling him out for violating a rule against that.
I'm gonna mention names. I'm gonna mention the council person in that ward. I'm gonna mention who get favors. I thought we was in a democracy. Say your name, say your name.
This has been going on for the 6 years that I have been on council, and just because it's not always addressed, because it is a lot of work as the chair, does not mean that it should be allowed to continue to happen.
Councilwoman Tanya Burns took issue with Worthing's take on the rules, leading to another blow-up. At the end of the day, though, the resolution to use $5 million.
Hey, man, I think the problem is the few races we got on there, man. That's what I think, man.
Well,
You
and
know what I
that's your,
mean?
and that's your right to feel that way. But what it looks like from what I'm listening to is it's just a house divided that brings all of their mess and all of their perspectives to the front of the forefront, in front of the people, and it looked like an abusive house that the people have to take the brunt of it and sit there and watch a meeting that carries on for 10 hours, and at the end of the 10th hour, there is no resolution. It's just a total turnoff, because it seems like everybody is trying to grab a banner to convince the people that they have a better solution to make for the city, and their solution is never moving forward. I didn't need no help when I brought Lear to the city of Flint, Michigan. Nobody helped me when I tried to stop the Flint water crisis. Eric didn't help me. None of the other council members didn't help me. Matter of fact, all of them toasted, but I didn't get on there and put them out there like that and cause my disliking in front of the public. I spoke about it behind the doors with them. I didn't say, well, my council members is not helping me stop Darnell Early from going to the Flint River. No, I didn't do that. Why? Because it wasn't appropriate. It wasn't appropriate to put my dissatisfaction in front of the people on how I feel about my colleagues. There's a certain form of decorum. There's a certain form of attitude and characteristics that you must display in front of the people to at least give the appearance that we get along, because we are leaders in the city trying to bring a city back together that can't get along. We can't be an example of distraction. So when people say that I'm a distraction, because I'm going to revert back to me. When people say I'm a distraction, I don't get that. Eric Mays caught a DUI. Eric Mays created all the ruckus. He get arrested in city council meetings. I never went through any of that when I was a city council person. I made arguments, but I also produced good fruit. Jerry Winfrey Carter has not produced no fruit. To be honest with you, nothing I'm on there has produced no good fruit. What changes has been made significantly in the city of Flint, Michigan from any one of them? From any one of them. Just don't point out the Caucasians. Any of them would have Eric Mays. I put on my Facebook page that I would give $500. Matter of fact, I'll give $1,000 if somebody can prove one thing that Councilman Eric Mays has done for the city of Flint, Michigan, significantly to make a difference and a change in our city, and it must be well documented. It must be well documented.
So you mean to tell me you don't think racism playing a part in that shit, man? Come on, man.
Racism plays a part in everything. I'm not saying that. Racism plays a part in everything. What I'm saying is we should hold all of them accountable.
I agree, but man, we gonna listen. Right, we're in a predominantly black city. We got a black mayor. We got a black chief of police. And we got this our city council. You got the racist group. Then you got the Uncle Tom tap dancing. Liddell and Quincy, they tap dancing and shit, and Uncle Tom and being house Negroes. And then you got Jerry Winfrey Carter, Eric Mays, and Tanya Burns doing what they doing. You know what I'm saying? And it's never going. Go ahead.
Tanya Burns do U-turns. She was once a Neely supporter. She was once a Nilly supporter. She had R. Woodson on her show disclosing a lot of bad things. May it be true or not? I don't know if it's true or not. But they was talking bad about Karen Weaver on Tanya Burns' show. Her and R. Woodson.
You say she do U-turns.
What I mean by U-turns is she was on her show with Art Woodson some years ago talking horrible about Karen Weaver. Horrible. But then she just supported Karen Weaver in this election. And Art Woodson too. They was talking horrible about Karen Weaver, both of them, on Tanya Burns' show, talking about where the money at, how they misappropriated the money and all this other stuff. I don't know if that's true or not.
Well, I don't know if it's true neither, but I mean, it is what it is, man. I would just,
but at the end of the day, John, I'm gonna be honest with you. At the end of the day, one, I respect you. One, I respect you as a man. I respect you as a media outlet, you know, to inform the people. I respect the fact that you and I don't allow our decisions and our perspective to cause dissension between us, because we ain't looking for yes men. We looking for people that will voice their opinion, and everybody should respect each and every one opinion. But at the end, but at the end of the day, my brother, at the end of the day, neither one of them can show any inkling of a thing that they've done in their ward and in the city of Flint, Michigan as a whole, because they all together come together to make a difference, not just for their ward, but for the city of Flint, Michigan, that can show that they moved our city forward in all the years that they've been in office. None of them. None of them. Just like if you and I sit in our car and one of us don't know what the other is about to do, but one of us get out of our car and go rob a bank, by the law, we both held accountable for that. And they charge you for accessory, and they charge me for robbing the bank. And in prison, the word they use is aiding and abetting. But you didn't know, or I didn't know, or vice versa. So at the end of the day, whatever conditions that we are suffering from in the city of Flint, Michigan, right now, and held under the banner and the umbrella of leaderships that's supposed to make a difference, they all are held accountable. Because this is what our democracy is about. Leadership coming together as one conglomerate.
Yeah, it's about transparency, man. But look, check this out, right? I wanted to do this before we get out of here. Last time you was on my show a few months ago, whenever it was, you had said this statement. I want to know, do you still stand on this? Hold on. Do you still stand on this right here? Hold on. In our current city council, man, just let us have it, man.
Our current mayor is a fraud. He's a liar and a fraud. But let me tell you why I say that. When I ran back for my seat for city council, which I would have won against Jerry Winfrey, all I needed was 75 signatures to get back on the ballot. So what I did, I doubled it up to make sure I can get on the ballot. I turned in 150 signatures. They called me from the clerk's office and told me that I didn't have enough. And that was crazy to me. I turned in 150. How don't I have at least 75 signatures to get back on the ballot? However, Shelton Nilly called me a couple of weeks later and told me that I had enough and I should file a lawsuit. I said, no, I'm not going to go through all that. I got other things, bigger things, you know, that I'm trying to work on with my family. But I really wanted to get back on the seat. A week later, a pastor called me. Not only did he call me, he told me I had enough. He told me what actually happened. That Mayor Shelton Nilly went to Clerk Arnez and tried to get Arnez to throw some of my signatures away. She wouldn't do it. So he went to Gloria, who was up under her, and got Gloria to throw some of my signatures away so I couldn't get back on the ballot.
So you telling me the dude that's our mayor right now did this to you?
Yes, he did. And let me confirm and tell you where I drew that inference from. I seen Mayor Shelton Nilly at my family-in-law homecoming. And so I walked to Mayor Shelton Nilly and I asked him, is that true? And I was cordial, I was polite, and I asked him in a polite way, Mayor Shelton Nilly, did you do that to me? Instead of him saying no, which was an easy thing to say, he asked me, was I checking him?
Do you still stand on that statement?
What I stand on anything that I said. I stand on anything that I.
Right. You're supposed to stand on anything you say. That's why people, you know what I'm saying, or if I say it, whatever I post, I stand on it, you know. So I just want to run that past you. You know what I'm saying? Because I know I thought maybe something changed since then, but oh boy. But you got anything in closing, man? You want to say about the Jerry Winfrey Carter thing, man? Is he froze? You froze up? I think he froze up. He froze up, y'all. Hold on a second. Can't hear you, bro. Did you mute yourself? Can't hear you. You might need to go out, come back in, man. Hold on. Can you hear me now? I guess this is y'all. It's froze. Hold on. Let me try to fix it.
Ray, you gone crazy. You are now tapped in with the most realist and controversial show on the net. Flint After Dark Podcast. We speak for the streets. We speak for the streets. Yeah. You are now tapped in with the most realist and controversial show on the net. Flint After Dark Podcast. We speak for the streets. We speak for the streets.
You hear me now? You muted out, man. Hey, man, I guess go out and come back in, man. You muted yourself. I don't know what's going on, man. So I can't hear you, brother. Hey, man, good interview, man. I'll catch you next time, man. Hold on. Let me see. Chill out, boy. Shit, I can't hear him, y'all. Shit, I guess I tried to bring y'all some clarity on why he recalled Jay Winfrey Carter, which I don't agree. Y'all heard me talking about I don't agree. Need to recall them racist motherfuckers down there. But you say you can hear him, Brendan? I couldn't hear him. But anyway, y'all know what I'm gonna say. Stop falling for the banana and the tailpipe fucking mirrors bullshit. We speak for the streets. I tried to bring y'all some clarity on why he recalled Jay Winfrey Carter. Hopefully soon, Jerry Winfrey Carter can come on here and tell her side, or tell not her side, her express her opinion or whatever on things that's going on, man. Shit. Man, we out this bitch, man. Peace.
Let's go. I've been flipping pounds in my city, Flint is my town. Bag it up, nigga, I get it up off the ground. This ain't what you want, we got killers, they shooting rounds. Roll another blunt for the lost that ain't around. I've been flipping pounds in my city, Flint is my town. Bag it up, nigga, I get it up off the ground. This ain't what you want, we got killers, they shooting rounds. Roll another blunt for the lost that ain't around.
The Snow Show.
Money, nigga, for real. Shit, and I hit a lot of dope. You're now
You're now rocking with Terrence Sale on Flint's #1 online podcast, Flint After Dark. We speak for the streets.
It's your boy, Terrence Sales, a.k.a. Mr. Speak for the Streets, a.k.a. Big T, and you locked in to the #1 podcast in Flint, Michigan, Flint After Dark. We speak for the streets. With my co-host, L. Peasy. We the new dynamic duo. We speak for the street. Peace.